YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with yet one more video, joined today by a very special guest, Zay.
Yo, what's happening? What's happening?
Yo, welcome back, bro.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't know the order that I'll post these, so maybe this is welcome for the first time.
All right, bet.
Listen, before we get started, Zay, you have a fantastic project out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Can you talk about that real quick?
Yes. I go by Zay Finale, man. That's my stage name. And I just dropped a mixtape called Do Your Thing. It's on all streaming platforms. That's iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Play. Check it out, man.
Listen, man, I want to be able to back that up with, I was surprised at the content. You know what I'm saying? Because usually when you get I just came out with a mixtape, you go and you listen and it's like, what? This shit is trash. Yeah. You got some cuss on there, bro.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
You got some cuss on there, yeah. I'll play a little snippet of that, right?
Good music, I make it. Sure. Yeah. Bad bone, red bone, like that. I just made it right back. I don't do the side chat. Hi, mom, look where I'm at. Hello. There's one more inside that. Way more. She get tapped like hi-hat. Never had a Snapchat. Just like that, yeah, like that. Don't complain. Never. I get none like Nova Kane. No, I do not know your name. Different city, different titties, but they all look all the same. That boy good like cock grains. That boy real, he'll never change. I can't buy no wedding ring.
All right, so listen, we got a fantastic video for you guys today, and it comes from a Patreon supporter. Shout out to you, Shao Kahn, Shoulder Charge. When a real man protects and provides, it's like this. Now, this is actually a reaction video from Derek Jackson, for something that was posted, I don't know how long ago. But we're gonna give you our take on that. Are you familiar with Derek?
No,
Jackson?
I'm not. No.
Okay. There's a lot of opinions about him on the internet. Typically, women love him, and red pill men are not fond of the things that he talks about. So,
okay.
What I say on my channel is sometimes it feels like he placates to his audience, which, you know, it's a strategy.
You know what I'm saying?
Strategy.
Yeah,
Go ahead, brother. Keep on doing your thing. All right. Anything to say before we get started, bro?
Nah, let's get into it.
Let's just get in it.
Yeah,
all right.
Let's get it.
Without further ado.
Daddy, I need to hear that first part again. You said you've been married to your wife 18 years and she ain't never paid what?
I've been married to my wife for 18 years, going on 19 years.
Move
my wife has never paid a mortgage payment. She's never paid a gas bill, electric bill. She's never paid a cable bill. She's never had to pay insurance for her cars. I pay for all that. But that's what a fucking man does for his family. I'm not on no pedestal behind it, but that's what a man does. A man takes care of his family. My wife shouldn't have to worry about a goddamn mortgage payment. She doesn't have to worry about the lights being on, gas being on, food in the motherfucking refrigerator. She don't pay for food. She don't pay for none of that. That's my motherfucking job. Understand me? You don't have to be on a pedestal to do that shit. That's what a man do, and a man don't brag about that shit. I'm not bragging at all, but that's what a fucking man does. A man that got 8 children and 12 grandchildren.
Say it again.
Okay. And I've never been under one child support order in my life.
And you take care of all of them. You do for all
And I do
them.
for all my kids. Whenever they need me, all they gotta do is call their daddy, and I'm right there. So if you meet a motherfucker that can't treat you the way your father treats you, you don't need that motherfucker.
Oh! Mouthful.
Hello, good fucking bye.
Mouthful said, goddammit.
Okay.
Mouthful said.
Say that shit.
All right, just real quick. Look like Derek is about to go in. I want to give initial thoughts on what you just saw, bro.
Old school.
Yeah,
he definitely old school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's like the first thing I thought as soon as he started talking. Like, oh man, that's old school for sure.
It is.
And a lot of that I feel could be taken in an offensive way to a lot of women, especially
in
now
2020.
In 2020, because you know.
There's certain movements that push an agenda,
you know what I mean?
that say that this is not right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's just take a quick look at what. So like, number one, you know, there's a lot of mirrors in there. So I think that he's in a household full of a lot of women. I would argue.
Oh, for sure.
Right,
that's why
like,
you're talking like that right now.
That's why. Also, when they panned over to the left, there's a lot of women in there. And also, if you take a look at the wall, he's got like in script family written back there, right? So this This is a family dude. This is a family man.
For sure.
In a house full of women. So I think like a lot of his ideas is going to be based off of, right, like what that is. But like my question is like, I get it, my G. Like, and this is the school of thought is traditional. I get it, and you've done all of these things in order to supply, protect, and make sure that they're good. My thing is like, what did you get in return? Right, like, so let me be very clear. Let me be very exceptionally clear. Were you supported in that time that you did all of these things for your wife? Yeah. And if you were, like, listen, if you were traditional in your goals and your values and you were able to get that support in order to help enhance, right, like, then I get it. But like, I think especially in 2020, you know, there's a lot of non-traditional roles that's going out here. And my thing is my you know, like, I get it. You did all of these things to supply, protect, and if she didn't want to work, I get it. But like, just make sure that there's not inherent selfish reasons as to why they're not working. Right. Make sure that they're not manipulating and taking advantage of you in those particular situations. And you're not being used as a test dummy that is just giving money in a situation and giving your hard-earned time and grit in order to supply for people that don't care, right? Like, or never had your best interest in mind. But if you can find someone that can support and nurture through that and is deserving of the hard work and determination that you're putting in, that's a totally different conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to get into D-Jax's thing real quick, because I feel like what we're gonna hear is, here's what I feel like we're gonna hear. I feel like we're gonna hear, you know, that's a man, that's a real man, and that's the thing, is that, like, I get that's a real man, but we're not in the same time anymore. Right. And I think that, you know, through the goals that have been pushed forward from like the feminist movement and agendas, like, you have to be very mindful of someone who wants to get in these situations to be a trophy. And we don't have enough data to understand if she was a trophy in this, or she was a loving, providing mother and wife to his 8 kids. Was it 8 kids?
He said 8 kids.
8 kids. Golly. That's another thing too. I feel like he has mostly girls because he was out here in these streets a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
8 kids. And he said something about child support too, so they're all not with the same woman.
It can't be.
Yeah, it can't be, right?
That was the first thing I was thinking. Like, man, she pulled out 8. Nah, cuz had about 3 baby mamas.
Right, at least.
For sure.
So you think he might be placating to the women that's in the room?
Bro, that's exactly what he's doing. Any not real man, but any like alpha male can always tell when somebody's kind of like poking their chest out. And that's exactly like what he's doing right here. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I wonder if it's enabled by the beer that he has in his hand.
Oh, yeah, that could be a lot of it, for sure.
Listen, man, that's why I like reacting to videos like this, because you can often pick apart what's happening behind in order to continue to paint that story. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right. So let's get back into this with my man D-Jackson is about to.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, when I first saw this video, I was really intrigued, not necessarily by the message itself, because it ain't nothing I've never heard before. It's an old school brother speaking on old school traditional values of being that protector and that provider, you know, in a very traditional sense. But I was intrigued why it was going viral. So I looked in the comments, and of course you saw the people talking about, oh, what about 50-50 split? A woman supposed to do just as much as the man, and blah, blah, blah. We already know that exists. But what tripped me out is whenever I saw one woman's comment, and it was actually a top comment before I replied and she deleted it. But it was something to the effect of, ladies, don't be misled by this. This type of man is the one that wants control over you. He wants to pay for everything so he can control every move that you make, what you wear, what kind of hairstyle you got, blah, blah, blah. Basically, this is a really controlling, you know, power hungry, narcissistic, egotistical guy. And I kind of understand why she might think that, because it does.
Just real quick, I want to comment on that real quick. It's crazy some of the conclusions that people draw, right? It's crazy to me in a sense that, like, how did you get there, right? Like, just because he says that he provides X, Y, Z, A, B, C, you get controlling and manipulating. Like, it's almost like you know, people have lost so much sight of logic, and they're just using their feelings and prior experiences with loose data in order to draw conclusions. It's
so
like,
quick though.
Yeah, it's so
super quick. Yeah, it's super quick.
Like, how do you get there? It's like one example that I say from time to time is like, if you see something in the sky and it is shiny and it is moving at a rapid rate of pace, and you've never seen an object like that before in the sky, the illogical conclusion is to assume that it's a alien
UFO.
manned unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
That's the wrong assumption.
Yeah.
Maybe you just haven't seen what's in that sky right there, but the immediate assumption is, oh, I just don't know what that is, and and it's nothing that I know about. How do you know the military is not testing something that looks exactly like that thing over your airspace? It's an illogical conclusion to just be like, oh, I saw an alien UFO, and you will ride or die about it, and then you're gonna make YouTube videos talking about how you saw a UFO the other day, and that's the conclusion that you're making. It's just people are making these far leaps and jumps, you know, with not enough data to reach a conclusive solution or result.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You wanna keep going?
Yeah, let's do it.
It seems like there's an extreme on one side or the other, either the 50-50 or want to leech off of you type of guy, or there's the guy that got a little bread and he feel like he owned a woman. But there's another type of guy out there, and this is what I get from him. The brother that's speaking in this video, this is the type of guy I identify just strictly off of him acknowledging that he shouldn't be put on a pedestal for being a man and doing what a man is supposed to do and providing for his family and making sure his wife don't have to worry about bills. And that type of man understands that protecting and providing, while being kind of one and the same, they go beyond just the physical. They go beyond just the finances, just the money. They go into the mental and emotional state as well. And it's like you can't protect your family mentally and emotionally if they still have to stress and fear about their survival. Like this type of man understands that. This type of man understands the importance of identifying that the job that his woman goes to and works or whatever, that is compromising her mentally. It's causing her anxiety and stress and bouts with depression. This kind of man understands the importance of being able to say, well, baby, with all that being said, you know, this job and how it's affecting you mentally, you don't have to continue going to that job. Fuck that job. If you continue going there, that's on you. You do your thing. But because I'm here, I'm letting you know I got us. If you need a couple of weeks, a couple of months, or if you just want to just try to do your own thing on some other shit, I got us financially. You do not have to go there. Because while there are some guys that take all the pride in the world in being able to protect their woman, should there be a threat of harm or danger one day, guys like this understand that's pointless if you can't protect your woman from a job that she hates going to every day. That's having way more damage on her mentally and emotionally. This type of man understands that. Like he understands having a wife, having a family. That's a privilege. Like that's really bullshit. 60, 70 years ago, that went without saying. That was well understood. You couldn't even go and take a woman's hand in marriage. The father wouldn't even approve if you didn't have your shit together already. It was already understood. That was a privilege. It's something that you had to earn. But the media came along and it taught us men that having different girls every night, that was bullshit. That's not player shit, bro. I'm just letting every man out here know. Now, I'm not mad at you. I'm not judging you. Like, have all the sex you want to have, but just finding a different place to put your dick every night, that's not bullshit. Bullshit is whenever you earn the trust from one woman to where she's willing to make those sacrifices and ride for you and support you in your dreams and give birth to your namesake and your legacy. Like, that's a privilege. That's bullshit, but you got to pay the cost to be the boss. And the cost that you pay to have that privilege of a wife and kids and a family and a support system and a foundation is your contribution of taking away certain stresses that she would have if it wasn't for you. You know, and the misconception is that a guy has to be rich. He has to be really wealthy and well off to keep this type of energy. I mean, I'm just looking from the outside in, looking at the guy's situation. Of course, you can't just judge by that, but I don't see like a ton of wealth and, you know, luxurious living. It's a regular home, a regular guy. So it's not about being rich. It's about being cut from a certain cloth. Whereas a man, you say, you know what? I refuse to be useless in a woman's life. And if she's not doing any better with you than what she would be doing without you, then what the fuck are you there for? You useless as fuck. But this type of guy, he don't need nobody to tell him that, nor pat him on the back because of that. And the whole point of this message is to let you guys know, I understand the majority is made up of people that's on one extreme or the other, but this type of man does exist that says because it's attached to my last name, I'm gonna make sure they straight. There's certain things they're just not gonna have to worry about because I exist. That's just what it is. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
What you think, bro?
I think he just articulated what the older guy was trying to say a lot better than what the older guy said. But like you were saying, drawn to conclusions, I think the younger guy, what was his name? Derek, I think he also jumped to some conclusions as well, talking about this man understands this and this man understands that. I did not hear that old dude say nothing about nothing that made me convinced that he understood about a woman being emotionally taken care of or being mentally taken care of or anything like that. I kind of just heard financial and what he did in order to support his woman and his family.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
And I think he kind of just made up for all the lapses that the older gentleman may have had. I'm just being honest.
Oh, I see. So it's like, you know, there was an initial video where people liked it, and then there was a reaction video where he further expounded on points that were not initially made.
No, because that old dude did not say none of that.
He was saying from a financial, which is the traditional is, you know, a financial security. And then I feel like Derek like kind of
he enhanced the argument.
He enhanced and moved it for 2020, 2019, whenever this video came out. In a way that still feeds his audience. That gives them the nourishment through the one-sided truths is what you can do. I think I'm gonna reiterate my point. He actually made another good point in there that I just wanted to hit on real quick, and he said media has taught men that they have to sleep in beds every other night, and I actually think that was a fantastic point. So I wanted to hop on that real quick. I agree with him there. Media has told us that these are the things that you have to do to be a man, but the component, we talked about this earlier, the components that generally will make you seem more alpha, you can get more of those opportunities presented to you because that's what they find attractive. That's what women find attractive. Now it depends on you where that energy is moved towards, right? Like if you have a girl in the bed every other night, but you still wake up and can't look at yourself in the mirror and love who you are, well, you got some work to do.
Oh, you got a lot of work to do.
You got a lot of work
because a lot of the guys who are just jumping from woman to woman are really covering their insecurities. You know what I mean?
Talk about that.
Because they probably jump from personality to personality within themselves. So now you're looking for one woman to kind of appease this personality within yourself. And then you're looking to another woman to appease this personality within yourself. But you can't stay stable.
Can't stay stable. There's something about having things and people occupy your time to not sit, and which is why I like meditation. I think it's so valuable. It's so important. Absolutely. Just to sit and get grounded and think and resolve
and reflect, self-reflect. Self-reflect.
Super important. So I 100% agree with that point. But just to double back to the purpose of the video, there's women that will hear this and like I just wanted to make it clear that you still have a role, right? Like you still have a role, and it bothers me so much. Yeah, there's still a role. Like it's still a two-party system.
Because I think media also teaches women that you need to find a sugar daddy, or you need to find a guy who's going to take care of everything for you financially, and that's what a real man is. Ladies, no. No, that's not it.
And the thing is that I was just about to touch on that because there's so many like channels right on YouTube that you know are tutorials for how to get a sugar daddy, that are tutorials on how to marry up, and tutorials on how to date, you know, with the like for the most financially capable man, right? Like
and I think a lot of women resort to looking for a guy with money because they probably dated like a lot of broke guys, and those broke guys didn't treat them the best. So she's like, fuck it, I might as well just go to a sugar daddy, because if these guys are just gonna treat me bad, I might as well just go ahead and hop to somebody with money and get treated bad. You know what I mean? I need a trade-off somewhere.
Or there's, you know, a lot I just don't want to work.
Oh yeah, a lot of them is lazy.
They just don't.
And that's why in 2020, you know, I get what the older guy was saying. I totally get it. But there has been a shift within the opportunities that women have in order to be able to provide for themselves. Now,
equity.
You know, and maybe 50 years ago, those very same women didn't have those same type of opportunities.
Yeah.
So a man had to be geared toward taking care of everything financially.
Yeah.
He had to be, because women didn't have those same opportunities.
Yeah.
But you fast forward to 2020,
Yeah.
it's a different story. It's a different scenario.
So let me ask you a question. So like more traditional, it's man, you know, financially, and then woman emotionally, right? So but now is there this happening? Because now the financial can be right here. So like, is there, like, what else can, right? Because there used to be a reason for this, right? That and you can base it off of that tradition. But as you get that shift, right? Like what's the reasons now to go forward with it, right? Like
To go forward with a relationship?
Marriage, right? Because I think he's talking about marriage. If so, I don't know why he's providing for someone that he's not financially tied to.
I think finances are something that you cannot ignore in marriage,
Yeah.
but that should not be the reason to get married.
Yeah.
But if you're going to get married, you need to know that you're getting ready to take on somebody's whole financial portfolio.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to know
The
that
assets,
this is
the
something
debts.
that's going to this is something that's going to affect me.
The loans.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as you know, positioning within, you know, what males are like now and what women are like now when it comes to, you know, the opportunity to gain finances or wealth or whatever, they've become much more equal. But I think you just need to find somebody who is responsible with finances, because that shows you a lot about who the person is.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
You know, I'm not sure if I answered that like all the way, but
no, I think you did. I think you know, at the end of the day, you know, and this is would be one of the biggest decisions in your life, and who you choose to get into this agreement with. And it's like, what are you doing to really understand and ascertain is if you're going to be doing it with someone who has inherent selfishness within them. Because my thing is like, right, like, and Derek said it in the video, if you wanted to not work for a couple of months, like weeks or months, I think that he said, but I think that there's a component that want you, or they're going on a date with you, and like I had a girl last night that, like, a little bit into the conversation, she asked me what I do, like, because she's trying to, in her
Evaluate
mind,
you.
Calculate, right,
Yeah.
like what's going on, and you know, I always answer shit dumb, like, oh, you know, I'm an artist or something like that, like,
yeah,
which
to
I
see if
am.
she really accepts you for
Right,
who
yeah.
you are, as opposed to like how much money you make.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not lying though.
Yeah.
Because this is like, you
Yeah.
know, being a creator, right?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, she's not gonna get the complete picture, because I'm looking to see, like, right. So I feel like as long as she has proven to you that she deserves all of that, have at it, my G.
Yeah.
Have at it.
Yeah.
My thing is that proof, because it's far too often that I encounter them that don't know how to treat a man. Right.
I think you should elaborate on that, because a lot of women right now are like, well, what do you mean we don't know how to treat a man?
Oh, goodness gracious. It's just, I think let me
crazy.
Let me paint a little bit better of a picture. I think we're all subject to media. Like we've all been subject to, just like D-Jax was saying, right? Like, men have been fed, you know, you are more of a man the more that beds that you sleep in, or what have you. I think that there's components of what have been normalized for women in relationships that will not amount to a good relation with a man. Like, I feel like, you know, there's a certain amount of emasculation that happens in how certain women talk to men. And I see it far too often. You know, you see, you know, like, you know, at the club, and then the chick's all up in the guy's face, and I'm looking at it like, hold up, like, you know, the size difference alone means that you probably should not be doing that. You don't know that dude.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna make him snap.
What's gonna make him snap?
Right.
Why are you talking to him like that? Like, there should be no reason for it, right? Like, and the thing is, and you know, as a community, I think we both have issues on both the male and female side with our ego mixed with anger, to a degree that I think disables our community from pursuing true solution, true growth.
Yeah.
And instead we get into these competitions with each other where we challenge the egos, right? We let our gut feelings and instincts permeate past logic and reasoning. And I often hear like a lot of these different arguments. Like, I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but I'm still kind of answering the question.
I'm right there with you, brother.
Yeah, but there's a lot of different types of things that happen in the news and the media, and I have like these conversations, and it's just like, damn, like, okay, if I'm just going in with my feelings brain, I get it. That makes sense. But if you start to look at the data and the rationale behind what it is that folks are actually trying to argue, and really go in there with the ability to understand and not let your anger get into your feelings before you come up with a solution or an answer, like, I feel like there's been a lost art of that. But I say all that to say that as a man's base, that's hopefully, if you're a strong dude, hopefully that's your base. And I think like some women don't understand or can't empathize with that, so they instead do things to undercut or underpin or emasculate like the man. Like one I've seen a lot is like shit test, right? So like shout out to Alpha Male Strategies, because I first heard the word shit test from him. Okay. But you know, it's certain things that they might do in order to just check their value to you in their life, right? Like, okay, okay, this sounds interesting. Yeah. So there'll be like certain tests, and the thing is like, as a man, you have to understand when that test is being shot towards you and how to maintain your composure, not let your feelings kind of get into it and get kind of riled up.
So like they'll purposely try to do something to evoke some type of response. Okay.
Yeah, they'll try to evoke a response, and right, like they may ask you a question like, you know, like they might like look at your shoes, right, and say like, oh, you still wearing a da-da-da-da-da-da, like, and there's a way to do it where it's an absolute joke, but there's a way to do it too where you're just like, damn, like, relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or,
well, that's probably because she herself feels like you're already looking at her trying to, you know, pick apart like her whatever she got going on.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Maybe. Or it's just, you know, there's so that's the thing. I mean,
and I'm not to make excuses for the girls for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Not to make any excuses at all.
But see, my thing is the ones that I've actually like connected and bonded with, like, is the ones that don't feel the need to do that shit, right? So,
and just treat you like a human being, right? And not just
you know, and but I think, like, you know, it could also be, you know, the other video we talked about the reason why women try to get in a relationship to date. It might be for relationships, if they're in the dating game like that. There's some that's in the dating game that's not trying to do that. More power to them. But dudes, when they're in the dating game, they're looking for friends. Yeah, companionship. Like genuine companions. So you know, I feel like if we take all the feelings and the drama and all that stuff out of that and just understand that dudes are just real simple, bro. Yeah. We real like, in order to make a dude like, it's not, you know, it's not no secret.
It's not rocket science at all.
It's not like, you know, but we don't want to hear about all of your the nail appointment that you had today.
You bring up a lot of like media pushing the agenda of what, you know, men and women should be, and like I just feel like we talk about toxic masculinity a lot, but we never talk about toxic femininity.
It exists,
and that is definitely a thing.
It exists. You know, if she wants to cut out poke a hole in your condom, guess what? Toxic
that is an extreme example, by the way.
Yeah. So let's not do outliers. Let's do an actual.
That shit is crazy.
It's crazy. But like I have examples in my life where you know I've been, you know, maybe I just do an entire whole video on it. Maybe I'll put it on my Patreon. But like I've had women lie, and like police needed to get involved. Like lie, completely fabricate and make things up when their back was up against the wall. That shit exists. Like, you know, another example to me of what toxic femininity is like, you know, when I look on all these female dating coach channels, and I see like you'll see like in the chat like, hey, I just met a guy, he makes $80,000 a year, should I marry him?
And that's the standard.
Excuse me?
That's the standard. You know, like, I don't want to sound like, okay, going for a guy who's successful isn't an attractive trait. That is definitely an attractive trait. But that's not the only trait you should be looking for if you want to have a successful marriage.
Right.
I don't think that they understand. You know what it is? They want the wedding more than they want the marriage.
Oh, talk to them.
So they want the
Actually,
the glitz and glamour. Did you?
Yeah, well, go ahead. Go ahead.
They want the glitz and glamour more than they want the work.
They want the work and don't know have an idea on how to be a wife.
No. They never practiced how to be a wife. They just knew what they wanted in their wedding.
Yeah. Well, here's the question, and like, you know, I challenge like all my men. It's mostly dudes that watch this, by the way. But
yeah, for sure.
But here's the question: like, you have to ask them, what do you think your role would be in a long-term either relationship or marriage or whatever your goal is? Like, what do you think your role would be? And if you gotta ask yourself that question as well and have that clear and enhanced conversation. You have to ask that. You have to ask that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot. And the thing is like, once you ask, oh no, the job's not done. You have to have it proved through actions. You have to, because the actions will give you the data that you actually need. The words is just the baseline. It's what to hold their expectations to. But then look at the actions.
You know what, fellas? And I love to challenge y'all too. Don't just go to have sex with them immediately. Kind of hold off on it. Because if you can do that, you're valuing yourself a lot more. You see what I'm saying? And you're not just giving of yourself. You know how women always say, well, I opened up to you and I allowed you to have sex with me. Yeah. But it's never like reciprocated. Like, you allowed her to have sex with you as well.
Cause you know why? We're the prize.
I think both of us.
We're both the prize. Yeah, sure.
Are to be, you know, looked at as a prize.
I think that's the winning situation when you both look at each other like
as a prize.
I'm the prize and you're the prize and we're coming together. Like, I don't believe in you know, I'm the prize and therefore you put me on a pedestal and you do everything to get me. Like,
because I think a lot of the guys that go sleep around already feel like they're the prize. You know what I'm saying? They feel like I'm the prize. All these girls need to be happy that they're getting a chance to, you know, kick it with me.
Yeah. No, I feel it, bro.
You feel what I'm saying? So it can't just be the guy thinking like I'm the prize. You know what I'm saying? Because then you turn to a douchebag. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think if you guys mutually see each other as valuable, then that's where the magic happens.
What the thing? So, but the dude who, you know, him thinking that he's the prize, he can still get, you know, all of the bodies that he wants with that mentality.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we're talking about the next level step. If you're actually looking for somebody, it's like, okay, if you find someone that values herself as a prize and then respects you as being a prize as well,
and can acknowledge that you are a prize. Because a lot of people, but because I'm a male speaking about women, a lot of women cannot acknowledge verbally that they see you as something valuable because they don't want to blow your head up. I mean, how many times have you guys heard that? I don't want you to get big-headed. So she won't give you compliments. She won't tell you how nice you look that day. Or she won't, you know what I'm saying?
But there's an expectation for you to do that to her. Because
and then there's this whole expectation.
Because media says the dude's not the prize. Like, she's the prize.
Toxic femininity.
Toxic femininity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Damn. Yo, listen, this conversation has gotten a little bit outside of what
we were watching.
The video is, but it just happens from time to time.
Know, it's a good conversation, man.
It's a good conversation. You know what I think we need to do a conversation on real quick?
What?
The benefits of semen retention or no fat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's start this up again. Let's kill this and let's have a quick conversation on that real quick.
Yeah.
Anything to say to try to wrap up the rest of this conversation, bro, before we get out of here?
I think we've said everything that needed to be said.
I think we did. But still, I still think we could still go on for another hour, but I don't want to tire them up too much with content. You know what I mean? Yeah. Listen, Zay, appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
For sure.
Questions, comments, concerns, y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. You can send some inquiries over there if you have video requests, but you got to understand that I got to always prioritize the Patreon supporters over them. Feel free to go check out my Patreon, patreon.com/mtnr, to continue to support. Thanks again for coming through, bro. Let's do
Absolutely.
another one real quick. Till next time, you two. Peace!